So this is going to be a little bit of a different setup than we're normally used to here. So again, welcome to Think Like an Executive. I am your host, Coach Galardi, and today I am talking all about how to build and structure a team. I am, hey James, what's going on, buddy? I am all about building teams. I think teams are great. I've got a successful roadmap for you, though, to how to build a team and really why should somebody join your team. But, let's talk a little bit more about Think Like an Executive and what we've got going on. So if you register at the website right now at thinklikeanexecutive.com, you have a chance to win a free month of coaching. Like, that's how much I believe in my coaching program, that I'm willing to give you a month for free. So go sign up at thinklikeanexecutive.com. And if you win the grand prize, you'll get 2 free 1-hour coaching sessions for the month of August, and you'll get 2 of the free scripts, objections, and rebuttals class. Not only that, but everyone that signs up, who chimes in, can actually take the scripts, objections, rebuttals class on July 20th. I believe that's a Monday at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. So 2 p.m. in the afternoon on Monday, July 20th, everyone can have a free scripts, objections, and rebuttals class. And I'm telling you guys, that is the foundation for real estate: scripts, objections, rebuttals. Everything you do should be a script, and everything that a client's telling you, which is an objection, you should have a rebuttal for. So chime into that free seminar. I mean, I only charge $25 for the scripts, objections, rebuttals class anyways, but I thought, you know what? Let's just throw it out there for free. Let's just get 100 people in there. I mean, seriously, like, I would love it if 50 people chimed in for that, because those classes are really designed for all of us to chime in. I may not have 100% the best answer, but I'll bet you I've got about 99% of the best answer. And you take what I've got and you tweak a little bit, and you learn from others that are going to be in the room and in class, and you can really, really up your game, up your level on that. So that's going to be on July 20th. And again, if you sign up at the website, you can have your chance to win a free month of coaching. That's how confident I am in my coaching program. Bottom line, I'm willing to give it to you for free. All right, so show me what other coach out there is right now is giving you stuff for free, and I'll tell you, it's probably nil. Nobody. So today we're talking about how to build a team, and I have got a tremendous amount of notes for you. I'll tell you, I started writing this down. I was like, wow, I can't believe how much is just spewing out of me about the coaching and everything. Make sure I got something going on right here. Hold on. Interesting. All right. Sorry, I'm flipping between screens here, and so I may not end up recording a certain section of this because my window capture screen is capturing the wrong thing. So click on a message. So this is great. Let me show you one more thing here. I know I'm bouncing back and forth, but I can actually, if you chime in on Facebook Live right now or on my YouTube channel, I can do this. See that in the bottom of the screen right there? How cool is that? That's why I love Restream. I found this little golden nugget today, and I can actually click on little chat messages that are in the window over here for me and show them on the screen. So if you have a question, I can actually populate it down there for you, and we can look at it together. Incredible. Super stoked. So let's talk about building teams, because, the fact of the matter is everybody wants to build a team, right? It's sexy. It's glamorous. It's so cool to say I'm with the Team Galardi, right? I mean, a team of one, a team of none. But it's, really cool to say I've got a team, and, the perception is that you're bigger than the rest of them out there, and that's why you have a team. So, let's really talk about the structure of building a team. And see, how do I get rid of this? No, I want to get rid of it, guys. Sorry, trying to get rid of my chat here. No. All right, well, it's going to stay there for a minute. Hopefully it will go away. So the allure of building a team, I get it. It's super sexy. You have a bunch of people on your team. You look at people like Aaron Kerman and Diary Fitzgerald and Ben McCall and stuff. Of course, those are the top pioneers of real estate, the top pillars of real estate. That's not you. That's not me right now. So how are we going to get there? And obviously, I think the first question that you have to ask is the 5 W's: the who, the what, the where, the when, and the why. So let's start with the 5 W's and the who, the first one. So who is your brand? And, I've gone through this a couple of times. I think that people don't understand their own brand, let alone their company's brand. And it's such a tragedy to me in real estate that if you can't simply tell a client, your wife, your mother, your father, or a prospective agent you're trying to hire for your team who your brand is, you might as well just end it right there. You gotta understand who you are as a brand. I know what Think Like an Executive is. It's a premier real estate coaching company, and we pride ourselves on taking a mirror and holding it to your face and asking you, are you ready for the amount of success that you say that you want to have? And I'm telling you, the answer is most of the time, no. You're not willing to do what it takes to be those top pioneers that I just mentioned, the top pillars of the real estate professionals out there. So how are we going to get you there? How are we going to get you in the mindset of being there? So I know what my brand is. I identify with my brand. I understand my brand. But can you say the same thing about your brand? So write down, who is your brand? What are you great at? What makes you different than every realtor out there? And please don't tell me customer service, okay? Customer service is the same answer that everybody's got. So customer service is not who you are. Who you are is what has made you a successful realtor to today. And if you're not a successful realtor, you should stop watching this because you're not going to build a team. If you can't sell people on selling their homes or buying homes, how are you going to sell another agent to come work for you? And why should that agent come work for you? So let's go into what is the value add? And that's a term that I use a lot, value add. What is the value add of an agent joining your team? Think about that question. What is the value add of an agent joining your team? What do you offer them? Because me joining your team, if you're asking me to join your team, what am I going to get out of it? That's what I need to know. That's the thing I need to hear about getting me excited to join your team. So what is the value add? And not just like, I've got so much business, I don't know what to do with it. It means you're disorganized. So think about the value add of joining your team. And the value could be brand recognition, which again, you got to go back to the who. Who is your brand? The brand recognition, the longevity you've been in the business. I can tell you that, for people that want to join my brand for real estate, Team Galardi Company, my value add is I've got 20 years of real estate experience. I can walk you through every single contract, every single negotiation, much better than most of the people out there because I've done it for so long. I've also managed some of the top performers in and around Los Angeles. So I've been a manager of the agency. I've been a regional managing director for Nest Seekers. I bring that skill set that most agents can't ever have. I've been involved in so many transactions and so many almost about to be sued things, that's my value add right there, that I can protect you. I can help negotiate. 92% of my clients are all sellers. What other agent can sell that, or say that right now? The answer is probably not many. Probably not many even know how many clients they have that were buyers or sellers last year. The thing that always baffles me about an agent or a team is when you ask them, so how much volume did you do last year? And inevitably they're like, I don't know. How do you not know your business? How do you not know? You're running a business. So, first and foremost, you need to understand that your business is a business and you need to run it like a business. How do you not know how much volume you sold last year? You need to know that. And if I interviewed with you to join your team as a prospective agent, and I asked you, so what did you close last year? I don't know, like 40, maybe 50 million? Is it 40 or 50? I mean, that's a $10 million sway. I mean, that's $200,000 in commissions, $250,000 in commissions. All right. You get my point, right? All right, so where is the direction of the brand? Why are you building a team? So what is the mission? Where is the brand going? If I'm Jason Galardi with the Team Galardi Company, what is going to be where's the end game here? Am I trying to be 50 people deep, 10 people deep? What am I trying to accomplish here? Am I trying to dominate an area? Do I want to be the king of the casino? Do I want to be the king of Woodland Hills? So those are the things that you need to also identify with and say, what is the direction and where is the direction of my brand going? I want to be 10 people, but I only want to have, listen, I personally think having 50 people is way too many because a lot of those probably aren't producing. I basically have an idea and a concept for Team Galardi, and that's I want to have about 4 or 5 agents on my team that are all producing very well, that are trainable, that want to learn, and don't want to be on my team for the next 2 to 3 years, or in 2 or 3 years, I should say. So my brand is basically here to help you elevate your game. I'm going to make a little bit of commission off of you during the time, but I'm also going to be providing you, lists of names, phone numbers, email addresses, those types of things. So then you're going to be able to get leads, but you shouldn't be on my team for more than 2 to 3 years because you should be successful by then on your own and starting your own team, hopefully, at that point. So that's the direction of my brand and where my brand is going, is that I really want to build team members 4 or 5 at a time and then kind of let you on your own about 3 years later. So when are you going to make time for your buyer's agents? So what's going to be your first hire, really? Is it going to be a buyer's agent? Is it going to be a marketing coordinator? Is it going to be a transaction coordinator? What is it? So, number one, as when I was really big into real estate 6-7 years ago over at Keller Williams, I had 9 or 8 mentees. And I will tell you that as a mentor, I really cared about my mentees. And I dedicated a lot of time, a lot of passion into them. And I lost business, to be honest with you. And I realized that because I dedicated so much time into my mentees and cared about them and wanted to help them build their business, that my business suffered. Well, that's the problem with like a team leader also, that you have to allocate time to your team, but you also have to still grow your business. And so if you allocate too much time to your team, your business will drop off inevitably. And that's where I see the mentor-mentee relationship really falter, because mentors are so busy grinding and doing their own business, they forget about the mentees. So why am I on your team if I don't have support? And so mentors need to, and team leaders need to really understand that anybody that's on your team needs support. So I'm talking about accountability meetings. And I think I see Julian Rios. Hey, buddy, long time no see, man. How are you over on Facebook there, buddy? Let me see here. Oh, man, greatly appreciate you checking me out. And James, you too, buddy. Great to see everybody. So when are you going to make time for a buyer's agent, a seller's agent, open house shower, whatever it is, that you hire for your team? So you've got to have accountability sessions. I'm big on accountability sessions, and that's really what coaching is also. So, you got to have weekly accountability sessions for the whole team, so that I think it's valuable to have your whole team there so that everybody can see what everybody's doing. And I will tell you, when I had accountability partners when I was heavy in real estate, every Monday I'd go into their office and say, okay, here's what I'm going to do for the week. And by every Friday when we had our second accountability meeting, and I said, here's what I did this week, and those 2 things didn't line up, man, I felt bad. I felt horrible. So it made me work harder, and it made me work smarter, actually, so that I could actually, at the end of the week, accomplish my goals, the small and achievable goals that I always talk about. So you got to make time for your team, okay? And why? Why would I join your team? I mean, seriously, if I'm an agent that's 2-3 years in the business, and that's really the people that are going to be joining teams, and people that are 5 to 10 years in the business, they're probably going to be starting their own teams. They're probably having the amount of success and transaction count that they could build their own team and have all the 5 W's already answered. So really, you're looking at newer agents. And why would somebody join your team? And I will tell you that on my team at Team Galardi, I offer my team members a 75% commission split. And people are like, well, wait a minute, what are you making? So I make 10%. I make 10% off of every deal. Now, I realize that, the business model of doing teams is generally 50-50. And I think that if that's what works for you, that's what works for you. I want to give my team members a little bit more. And I want my team members to stay longer. And I want them to be appreciative. Now, I realize that I'm potentially giving them leads, I'm giving them open houses, I'm giving them, buyers to go work with and stuff like that. But the reality is, I'm not in it to make a ton of money off of my team. or my mentees and like that. So I'd rather give them more of a commission split, have them committed to me, have them happier for longer. And the reality is that's probably what they're going to get, if not even a little more, if they went to another brokerage or something like that. So right out the gate, any newer agent is probably going to get a competitive commission split and or a higher commission split. And I think that that is why somebody should join your team. Now, also, someone's going to join your team for leads. You should not be starting a team unless you have leads. You should be doing, in my opinion, $25 to $30 million a year before you even really venture out and wholeheartedly start a team in good faith. I mean, $25 to $30 million a year is really at the point where if you're doing $10 million a year in LA market, that's 3, maybe 4 deals. So, that's $2.5 million a piece. That's one deal every single quarter. You should not be starting a team if you're only doing one deal a quarter. You should be at minimum closing a deal every single month. And you should be doing $25 to $30 million every single year before you really wholeheartedly start a team. So the other thing is open houses. Your team members are going to need the leads because they're new in the business. So how are you going to get them business? You have to have listings and you have to have open houses. I've already told you 92% of my clients are all sellers. So that is something that would be a value add to an agent to come to my team, that when I have listings, I'm going to have more than probably one at a time. So, how are you going to divvy up those open houses? And that's what you need to think about. You also need to set goals for your team. You need to make sure that, hey, if this person has 3 leads and they haven't closed any of them, they're not going to get that much more leads. They might need to go shadow somebody and watch how it's done. If I give you 3 leads, you close 3 transactions, you are going to get more business from me as the team leader. So, the who, the what, the where, the when, and the why. Start off with those 5 questions just to yourself before you think about starting a team. So when you start off with those 5 questions, then you can go on to diving deeper into creating a team. So we've touched on leads. You need leads. Okay, you got to have leads. No one is going to come work for you, or they shouldn't come work for you if you don't have leads set aside for them. Now, I don't care if you're buying Zillow, HomeLight, Realtor.com leads. You have listings for open houses. You've got a database. Now, giving somebody, like that commercial lead book, I don't think that's leads. I don't think that qualifies. It's a great way of getting people to dial on the phone and stuff, but I'm talking about tangible, I can touch it, phone numbers, contacts, email addresses. At Sync Brokerage, we have access to email addresses and clients' cell phone numbers. And so that's one value add that I give to my team, is that I'll give you access to that. So you want to create and do a farm area? Great. We're going to tap into it on our back-end system here, and now you have access to most of the homeowners and most of the cell phones and email addresses in that area. So if you're not generating leads and if you're not getting leads, stop there. You should be so busy that you can't handle the business. That's where you really should be starting a team, is that if you're letting things fall through the cracks, and if you're not actually able to keep up with, hi Amy, how are you? If you're not able to keep up with the amount of business that you have, that's when you start a team, guys. So not before that. What else do I have for you? I have completely lost my restream. There it is. Sorry. Wow, I was lost for a second. All right. Going back to structure. That's the second thing you have to have as a team leader. If you're flying by the seat of your pants every single day and you don't know where your next deal is coming from, you should not be building a team. You have to be regimented. You have to be like you're in the Army or the Navy or Marines or whatever. Every day, you have to have a schedule. And your schedule needs to be, I'm going to wake up at X time. I'm going to do this in the morning. I'm going to say my affirmations if that's what you do. But you have to lead by example before you even start a team. So your structure needs to have also a team in place. For me personally, and if you go listen to my interview with Christopher Guerrera the other day, I asked him, what was his first hire? And, it was a marketing person. It was an operations manager. Before you go out and start a team, if you're doing $25 to $30 million a year, you need an operations manager first and foremost. They will take so much pressure off of you and the mundane tasks of transaction coordinating, scheduling showings, photography for new listings. That's another thing I love about Sync Brokerage and Andres over there. He includes the transaction coordinator as part of every transaction. I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to pay for anything. Like, it's just a bonus of working there. So I think that also when you're looking at a company too, about working for a company, look at things like that. What kind of ancillary items do they offer you? And, with Sync Brokerage, transaction coordinator, if you're doing, let's say you're doing 10 deals a year at $350, Andres has just saved us $3,500. Sync Brokerage saved me $3,500 a year. That's money I can put back into my marketing. And so these are the value adds that you want to make sure when you're trying to recruit and bring on a new agent, that's something that you let them know. Okay. So do you have a marketing or a marketing coordinator? Do you have an operations manager? Now, a marketing coordinator, in all honesty, every company has a marketing coordinator. That's great. But if you're getting to the point where you're doing 40+ million a year, you should have your own marketing coordinator, because all of these things should be on Facebook. You should be doing Facebook Live videos. You should, as the team leader, have almost no responsibility for that stuff anymore. No Instagram posts, no Facebook social media posts. All of that stuff should be passed on to your marketing coordinator. And to be honest with you, I would be hiring a director of operations to manage all of the process, to manage all the structure, to manage everything, and possibly a marketing coordinator before I even thought about building a team. I would be paying out more money there so that I could go generate more leads and then build a team. If I have 10 listings, are you kidding me? You don't think I could build a team if I had 10 listings right now? Absolutely. And especially if I'm offering a 75% commission split, people? Absolutely. So that's the other thing, structure. And then do you have systems in place? If I get a new listing as a team agent with you, what happens next? Does your marketing coordinator or your operations manager have a system in place of, great, here's the email, here's this, here's the schedule for the inspections, here's the schedule for the photography, here's our staging company. You've got to have systems, policies, procedures, all that stuff in place. Competitive commission, we've talked about that a little bit before. 50% on transactions. I'm not a big fan of that. I want to make sure that my team is rewarded and they're loyal to me. I believe in loyalty big time, and you got to pay for loyalty sometimes. And I want people to, never doubt or go somewhere for a 5% commission split difference. I mean, I think that's just the craziest thing when people leave either a brand, a team, or whatever over 5% commission. I understand it all adds up, but talk to your team leader. Have a conversation with them first about, hey, listen, I'd really like to be at 60% split, whatever. Right here at the Team Galardi Company, you're at 75. End of story. Make it real easy on you. And then, also I think you need to have clear defined roles as well. If I'm on your team, and let's say my mom comes in and wants to sell property, or this is a past client of mine, because that is always a gray area of where things go into. And I also find it very, very unfair when team leaders say, everything's 50-50 out the book, or off the top, whatever. 50-50, end of story. Listen, if you have a family member that's going to buy something, I'm taking 10%. If you have, if I give you a lead, you're getting 75%. That's just my split. Like, I don't deserve any more. I don't deserve any less. I probably deserve more, actually, but I'm willing to do that. And I think that taking 50-50 of somebody that has a past client or a lead that wasn't generated by the team is just excessive. And I think that you guys need to rethink that before saying 50-50 split. Now, if you want to do 50-50 split on company-generated leads like Zillow and stuff like that, I get it. These things cost money. But also look at the flip side is, if that other agent on your team wasn't there to call that lead, to nurture that lead, to go do those showings, to actually get to the point where they want to write an offer, to close that transaction, you'd have 50% of nothing anyways. You'd have 10% of nothing. So if you want to do, a 60-40 split or something like that, or, 60-25, whatever your numbers are, that's okay, but 50-50, I just don't, you shouldn't be trying to hit home runs on these deals every time. Be clear about your objectives. I'm going to bring on a team member with me, if I'm going to bring on an agent with me, I'm going to make sure they know their role. I'm going to make sure this is a job, okay? You are now an employee of mine, of the Team Galardi Company. So if you're going to be working for me, I'm going to sit down and we're going to talk about everything and what's expected. I'm going to expect you to go do open houses every single weekend. You don't want to do them every single weekend? I don't know if you're the right team leader for you then. I mean, very simple. I'm going to expect you to make phone calls. I'm going to expect you to report back to me. Accountability, that's so major. And again, I find a lot of team leaders out there don't have accountability with their team. They say, hey, anything? It's like yelling across the room, like, hey, you okay? Thumbs up? Yeah, okay, cool. No, you've got to meet with your team twice a week. If your team members can't be there, they shouldn't be on the team. They need to be there twice a week, and you need to do things collectively as a team. You got to build that culture. You got to create that culture. You got to create that trust. And also, you got to have everybody accountable to each other as well. So you do it on a Monday. You have a Monday morning team meeting. Hey, guys, here's what we're going to do. Barbara, you're going to do this. James, you're going to do that. Steve, you're going to do this. I got an open house this week. Who wants it? Well, did you get any leads from the last open house? And they should be reporting back to you, and you should be keeping copious notes on every single team member that you have there. Mentorship. Be clear about the objective. Sorry. What are the commission splits going to be? We've talked about that. What if I bring my own lead? Talked about that. So now mentorship. Can I come to you with questions? If I'm on your team, can I come to you with questions? Now, I've talked about this earlier on that, the mentor-mentee program I think is very broken. And I think that, you need to be accessible for your team. You can't always be there for everything, but you need to do your darndest to be there as much as you possibly can. You've got to give them directions. You've got to give them notes. You've got to give them an idea of what is expected. And yes, you've got to have ongoing training with them as well. You've got to make sure that they understand that you are a resource for them. You are basically, you're the authority. So there's not only the manager of the office, but the team leader, and they should come to you first, or your marketing, your operations manager for any and all questions. But you've got to be there for your team. I mean, that's just a simple kind of note, I think. What about listing appointments? Will a team leader go with the team member for listing appointments? Absolutely. And you should almost make it mandatory for any agent that hasn't closed 3 deals on your team. You need to see, got to remember, they are representing your brand, the Jason Galardi brand, the whoever brand you are, the Think Like an Executive brand. If anybody comes works for me, I'm going to follow them and stick to them like glue, because I want to make sure they understand my mission, my brand, where the team is headed, where the company's headed. That's your stamp of approval. So make it a minimum of 3 deals that they have to close, and you need to watch them and go with them on these transactions to ensure they understand your mission. It's your name on the line out there. Let me see, what else do we have here? And a successful track record. I think that's probably, two last things. You got to show a successful track record before you're building a team. So how do you do that? Show people. People will want to work with people that are successful. If you say, I didn't close anything last year, or the last 6 months, or the last 6 months, I should say, how are you going to be able to bring people on your team? So you've got to show a successful track record about why people should be there, why they should work with you. And lastly, road mapping. You got to road map an agent's career and your team's career. So how do you do that? You tell them, these are the goals that I expect, the small achievable goals this month. Every 3 months, here's what I expect. And you've got to have them do business plans, their own business plans of how they're going to add to your business plan. I know this sounds like a tremendous amount of stuff to do to build a team, but you can have a team where it's the wild, wild west and do your $10 million a year and say, great, I got 3 people on my team, and that guy's over there doing this, and this girl's over there doing that, and no control over anything. That's fine. That's not my style, and that's not how you're going to be successful for long periods of time. So you've got to have structure. You've got to be organized. You've got to have team members in place, accountability sessions, and you've got to roadmap another agent's career and for their success. And again, my goal is for an agent to be on my team no more than 2 to 3 years. because I don't want people to be lackadaisical. I don't want them to be complacent. I want them to achieve more. And so when you're on our team, we're going to make you achieve more. And also tell people, I'm here to double your business. You did $4 million last year. You should be doing $10 million this year. How I'm going to get you there is $2.5 million every single quarter. And I mean, that's what like $800,000 every single month. Come on, man. You should be able to roadmap that for an agent, and especially if you're buying leads. So if there's any questions, please let me know. We got Victor Brown checking us out there on Facebook. Guys, the chat is open, so that is just about everything I have for road mapping success and having a team structure. I know that everybody wants to do it. It's glamorous, it's hot, it's sexy. I got a team, but you got to have structure, you got to have people in place, and you got to have accountability sessions, okay? So that's all I got for you. Don't forget, July 20th, I'm offering you a free script objections rebuttals class. It's a 1-hour class for free. Anybody and everybody that wants to sign up, come on, man. You got to sign up for it. July 20th at 2 p.m. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's interactive. It's not just me pounding my fist and stomping my feet. It's all of us collaborating and talking about today's market and the objections and how we're going to rebut them. And also, don't forget, make sure you go to thinklikeanexecutive.com. We are... we're offering a free month of coaching, 2 personal one-on-one coaching sessions, and 2 script objections and rebuttals classes for the month of August. You got to sign up and register, and we'll draw 1 lucky winner, probably on the 20th or the 22nd, one of those days. We're also doing more and more interviews. If you haven't heard the Christopher Guerrera interview, we are on anchor.fm, and then it's broadcasted everywhere on Spotify, Castbox, you name it. If you have a podcast app that you listen to, go there, type in Think Like an Executive, and you can probably hear our episodes on there. This will be an episode as well. Very, very soon. So thank you all so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate everybody's support. Don't forget, we have personal coaching starting at $97 now for 2 1-hour one-on-one sessions every single month. So let's sign up, guys. Let's get this going. Now is the time to turn it on, because we're going to be out of this coronavirus very, very soon, I hope. And boy, you want to be the #1 realtor that your clients think of. And how are you going to do that? You're going to do it with coaching. See you very soon. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.